Hi YouTube friends, it's Anna the Paladin. Welcome in this video about what does an INFJ need from friendship. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Anna. I have been making videos for 1.5 years now, or at least actively, and I make videos about psychology, about social topics, specifically about MBTI also, because that's just something I'm obsessed with, like today's video. And I kind of do that from an alternative angle, like my personal angle, because I tend to have specific ideas about things, and I started making videos because I felt like sharing that with people. I felt like I had something to say to the world. But I still don't consider myself to be good at making videos. That's also my thing. Um, yeah, and I just decided it doesn't matter. I will make videos anyway, and I will probably get better along the way. Better just start and get better than don't do anything, you know? So I hope you're on board with me for that. So let's get into the video itself. Um, INFJs are one of the loneliest types that exist. And why are we so lonely? Well, one thing is that we really tend to feel like misfits. And that's not something that just INFJs have. Um, it's mostly just intuitives that tend to feel like misfits. But INFJs might get an extra helping of that misfit feeling. So that's like one little thing. The other thing is, I think INFJs feel so lonely because it is supposed to drive them towards their purpose. And that's a whole other video topic. What is the purpose of the INFJ? I've been walking around with that video idea in my head, but like the right moment hasn't been there yet to make that one. So we'll see in the future. But one of the purposes of an INFJ is to drive humankind towards connection. We are all about relationships, finding deep, meaningful connection with people, and specifically the word intimacy, which we will talk about more later. It's like we kind of have this. I think you heard my cat now. I think it's kind of like we have this yearning inside of us for that connection, and um, kind of the opposite to that is feeling loneliness of not having that. And so the loneliness of not having that can be a drive to get over resistance and be motivated to get what you need, and that is connection. Like if you didn't feel that loneliness, you wouldn't be so motivated to look for the interrelational connection between people. And since it is our purpose as INFJs to find that connection with people and that intimacy, the loneliness is kind of a quality as a motivational drive and a pointer towards where to go, although there are a lot of obstacles in that. But that's also another topic. Because today we are talking about what an INFJ needs from friendship, and the two very important words in that are connection and intimacy. So we are lonely because we deeply crave connection, and connection between humans and laying connections between humans is our purpose. So we want deep connection with people, we want intimacy. On the other hand, it's very hard for us to completely open up. Because the thing with INFJs is that we really feel that we have a kind of thing to us that feels extremely vulnerable. You could describe it as having dark holes inside of us, and it's just like so dark that we feel like we couldn't just trust anyone with showing them that. Very often in interaction with people, we have the feeling like there's this part of ourselves, this dark hole that we need to hide from people until we are completely sure that we can trust the other person with that part of ourselves. So, because of that thing, we are in a strange dynamic of pretension and at the same time, this pretension, like hiding parts of ourselves, is stopping us from connecting with people. Because true connection happens when you feel you can be open about yourself, when you feel like you can be authentic with yourself and with other people. So, what we really want from friends is that we can trust them. And the thing also with this side of us that we feel hesitant to share with people is that it just can feel very painful to share this. These dark holes are kind of a space of pain for us, and yeah, so we would feel very vulnerable if we would actually expose that to other people. At the same time, it is super important for us that we have people that we can really fully expose ourselves to. It's not like you always have to, but we do need people that we trust that much that we can, yeah, be vulnerable with and show whatever parts of ourselves, and they will stay loyal to us. So, like, really the meat of this video is that we need trust, loyalty, and intimacy from our friends. We need to know that we are completely safe with someone before we can let our guard down with people. Before that, we are always a bit careful with what we share. Yeah, again, just a difficult dynamic because we crave so much that intimacy. So we desperately need these people, these friends, these family members that we can trust our inner world completely with, that we can show these dark parts of ourselves to, and people that we can share our truth with. Because also a part of why we feel lonely is because we, like, from since when were children, we had this awareness of truth, as you could say it. We were very aware of things that were happening around us, why they were happening, what was kind of wrong about them, the consequences of that, and the whole logic of the situation. And we were also aware that this awareness of us was not always socially acceptable. So from early age on, INFJs are taught that we need to manipulate the truth a little bit for the sake of fitting in. And then also gives another like aspect of fragmentation, as Teal Swan would call it, who is an INFJ, of like I can't share my truth, I can't share what I truly see without being socially unacceptable, without like losing my acceptance and in that way my connection. So again, we really crave for people that are open to hearing that truth that we see, even when it is harsh. So loyalty, that's like something we need also, but that's like what you get if you have gone through some experiences with someone and the other person has proven themselves that they will stick to you, they will be loyal to you no matter what happens, no matter what dark part of yourself you show to them, etc. And that will really contribute to the trust we will feel towards that person. Because if somebody showed over time that they have that loyalty, we are much more likely to see them as someone we can share anything with and that we are safe with. Okay, so I have a favorite quote, and it's not by some famous spirit guru or author or anything. It's by an anonymous person, but I came across it, and ever since it has been my favorite. And it is exactly about this number one need in friendship that INFJs have. I will read it to you. People think that intimacy is about sex, but intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, when you're standing in front of them and their response is, "You're safe with me," that's intimacy. I think it's perfect. It says it all, what it's really about for INFJs in the context of friendship. I also wanted to mention, which I forgot to say earlier, that although what I'm saying is mostly about friendship, it definitely also applies to romantic relationships because it is just a need that INFJs have with whomever they are close with. Just a need in general, but it's something that we would experience with people that we are close with. And if we didn't have this in a romantic relationship, it would be really, really bothersome because, um, when you are sexually intimate with a person, you are also intimate with them on a emotional level, truly, I think. Or at least that's how it should be naturally. So, um, you know, being intimate with someone in that way, it can also feel very vulnerable. I'm sorry about the background noise. So in that situation, the INFJ needs to have from their romantic partner that they that they can be completely trustworthy and that they can show any part of themselves, because otherwise that situation is going to feel either very numb, very like you are not being yourself, or it's going to feel very unsafe. Most likely the first thing, because INFJs, they are probably pretty good at keeping themselves safe from other people seeing their vulnerable side if necessary. But that's just not a healthy romantic situation to be in. So, okay, it's not going to be many people that really show the INFJ that much loyalty and that the INFJ can have such intimacy with. But ideally, that would be a really close, amazing group for the INFJ to be in, and that is sometimes called a wolf pack. It's a nice analogy for what that is really like. So once the INFJ has these people that they, that they feel that trust and intimacy with, they will do anything for them, like literally anything. And yeah, that's just really what an INFJ wants, to have these people close to them that they can really share themselves with, that they completely trust, that will always be loyal to them. And I've come across the question before, how do you win the trust of an INFJ? Like, imagine you wanted something from an INFJ. I hope you have good intentions. Or if you wanted to be friends with them, I think a very good tip is show them your imperfections and vulnerable side yourself. Because at least I experience that if somebody else shows that vulnerable side of them, I feel more safe to do that myself. And that's a really important step, like me feeling safe to share intimate things about myself and towards winning my friendship. So, yeah, apart from that, be consistent, stick around. Because we really value that loyalty. So, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, that it gave some useful information to you. Consider writing a comment down below, because I'm really interested to hear what you think about this video or anything else really. Give this video a like if you liked it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more like this. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day, evening, whatever. Bye!